You're listening to the Rude Awakening Show podcast.
It's that time. All right, buckle up your seatbelts. Here he is again, Gerald Celente. I'm going to let this guy go. Good morning, Gerald.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for joining us. TrendsJournal, turn this thing around for us. What are we looking at today?
Everything's just hunky-dory. Vote for me, and you're going to have a great president for 2016. I mean, look at it. I mean, what, are you kidding? I mean, it's a joke what's going on out there. The imbeciles are in charge, and it's one disaster after another.
But wait a second. Tomorrow night, we're all going to be watching the State of the Union. Everything's going to be great, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have to tell you, I've been doing this since 1980. This is my 35th year. And I've never seen a Congress and a president as incompetent as the ones that are in charge now. Well, I guess I have, actually. But, and I think most of the people know it. For example, there was an election in Russia, let's say. That was just a couple of months ago. And 74% of the people stayed home. That would be headline news. That's what happened in America. 74% of the people stayed home in the midterm elections. That's how bad it is. So what we're looking at is the economy has not rebounded. We said this from the beginning. It was only a cover-up. They covered it up with cheap dough. And it's very simple. The only reason the equity markets are up is because the cheap money allows companies to buy back their stock. They're borrowing the money at almost nothing. I got a deal for you guys. Here we go. I'm going to loan you all the money you want at 0.25% interest. You're one of the too big to fail banks. You're one of my buddies. Okay. After you get the dough, you can loan it out for anything that you can get for it. You even charge the suckers 700% plus on payday loans. It's okay. The other reason why the markets went up is mergers and acquisition activity. They're borrowing the money for nothing. So they're doing all these deals. And then you look at the real numbers. I'm not making them up. Median household incomes below 1999 levels. So now you have what they're calling deflation, not only here but around the world. It's not deflation. The reason prices are going down, in the old days they used to call it depression. You don't have the dough to buy the stuff. Here's a number that people say, this guy's full of baloney. 85 cats on the planet have more money than half the world's population, 3.5 billion. And anybody could Google it up. That's a fact. So what you're looking at is that we don't have a Congress that represents us. They represent the special interests, and they're giving them special breaks to make them even richer. So the president's going to come out and he's going to play his for the folks. Let's have a bet how many times he says folks tomorrow.
Okay, well, hold on. You got Big Al here. What's the over/under? He'll take it. Folks, what do you want to go on that one?
Go with 9.
Not 9 folks.
Yeah.
9 folks. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Did you say folk? You? I think it's a university. Folk you.
Of the 85 cats that got all the money, how many of them are Waltons?
They're a big part of it. But it's not only the Waltons, it's all of them. It's around the world. And this has never happened before. Look, here's a fact. This country's gone from a middle class to a dollar store. When I was growing up, there was no such thing as a dollar store. Used to go into nice places, mom and pop places. So it's a giveaway. And now there's the war talk. When all else fails, they take you to war. Hey, you guys got any ISIS running around down there? Watch yourself. This has gone from, you figure it out. It's been the World War II generation, the baby boom generation, and now you have the war on terror generation.
But we're winning. But Gerald, we're winning that war. I keep hearing Obama say we're winning that war. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, Obama. I was looking at some old notes last night, and Condoleezza Rice, the Secretary of State, when they launched the Iraq War,
right.
Words to the effect, "I'm proud of what we did."
Okay.
This is like in 2006. I'm proud of what we did. Oh, you're proud for taking us to a war based on lies? The guy never had weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda. Oh, you're proud of that, huh? You know, all this news, by the way, about what happened in France, all of this news. How many people did the French kill in Libya? Sarkozy started that war. How many did the Americans kill in Iraq? Over 1 million, the number is.
Wait, hold on. You still can't justify what these guys
I'm not
did.
justifying anything. I'm not justifying. I'm talking about the hypocrisy.
Okay.
I'm talking about the hypocrisy.
Well, we've discussed that here, too.
Yeah. The hypocrisy is, you know, as we used to say in the Bronx, payback's a bitch. So if you're going to go in other countries and kill people, guess what? You're going to get people that hate you, too. So don't get too tight about it. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is they're taking us to war. And if anybody listening out there wants to get in a good business, they could do it very cheaply, and you could even be stupid about it. Get in the propaganda business. Boy, it sells big, and it could be as bad as you could make it.
And I think our media is so damn responsible for a lot of these problems that are going on. It's not even funny.
They are totally responsible.
The media is really destroying us from the inside out.
You got it, man. They really, really are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, we're all hearing one story. So if you hear one story, you have one opinion. And that's the end of the story. So going back to the economy now, what's going on with oil prices? People say, oh, you know, they're trying to get even with Putin, blah, 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 blah. Now, we've been following this from the beginning. It's called supply and demand. Okay. And right now, you're looking at not only too much supply and not enough demand in oil, you have it in copper. You have it in iron ore. You have it in nickel. You could buy a ton of iron ore, rebar, reinforcement rod in China, cheaper than you could buy a ton of cabbage. You're looking over in China now. Their Shanghai index was down over almost 8% last night. You know why? Because the property bubble has burst. So if China's not buying this stuff, China buys this at 40% of the copper produced each year. You're going to see a slowdown because all these natural resource-rich countries have nobody to sell their stuff to. So this is big. And in 2015 may be the year the equity markets collapse.
Well, recently we're shutting down oil production across the world, but we're still scheduled to produce more oil than we ever have. Where is it going to, and why is it dropping? I mean, I'm just confused on why has it gotten so cheap, and where is it going to? Who's sitting on all the oil? Someone's got to have it.
Well, no, again, what China's doing, for example, they're buying oil in storage. But they can't get rid of all this stuff. Iran has tankers full of oil out there. So it's just like, let's say you're selling tomatoes, and you get $2 a pound. And all of a sudden you got more tomatoes than you can use, and you can't get rid of them, and you need the dough. You'll sell them for anything. And that's what I'm saying. It's not only oil. It's almost all of the commodities, because the global slowdown. And there's no way of getting out of it, because the only way they try to get out of it is by pumping more money into the system to enrich the rich. And that's all it's done. It's only made the fat cats fatter.
Well, isn't China stockpiling everything from garbage to old compute, anything they can recycle? I see barges hauling ass out of here with what we think is junk, and they're taking it by the shipload.
Yes, they are. But I got to tell you, you know what China's greatest fear is? It's not the Japanese, not the Americans moving in with Asia.
I think it's themselves is what it is.
You got it, man. They got 1.2 billion people. Yeah. And they used to report how many disturbances there were each year. The last time the number came out was in 2012, and it was like 38,000. 38,000 major disturbances.
Okay. And what is it now?
Well, they're not reporting it anymore.
Oh, okay.
And so what I'm saying is they got to keep their people in check. And by the way, they have I don't know how you say quantitative easing in China, but they're trying it too. And I'm telling you, just look, if we woke up this morning and the stock market was down 8%, there'd be panic on the street.
Okay.
The market is down 8%, the Shanghai index, as we're speaking. There's panic there.
Okay.
This whole global economy is collapsing. Later this week in Europe, Draghi. Again, when you look at the whole team, Mario Draghi's the head of the European Central Bank. They're going to have their version of quantitative easing. They have negative interest rates. That means when you put money in the bank, if over a certain amount, you have to pay them to keep it there.
Where is this?
This is in Europe.
Okay, we were just talking about that in Switzerland.
What Switzerland did, they have negative interest rates too, but they just got off the peg from the euro, because they're going to have quantitative easing this week, which means they're going to pump more cheap dough into the system, and the Swiss franc was pegged to the euro.
Gerald, I have a question, because we just had another guy on within the last hour. We were talking about similar things. Quantitative easing. He said, well, it worked. Did it work? Is it working?
It did. He's full of baloney. The facts are there. The only people that are rich, as I said, are the big guys.
Okay. Because I wasn't going to get into a debate. I don't know that much.
The facts are there. Yeah. I'll talk to anybody about it. We've been writing about it. It's in detail. The numbers don't lie. The liars lie. The middle class is shrunk in this country. People are dead over their heads.
Now, Gerald, the TrendsJournal. How long ago did you guys write about about this sort of thing? That you guys write history before it happens, right?
We wrote the words, "This is no recovery; it's a cover-up," in 2009.
Okay.
All of this quantitative easing, as I said, has only enriched the equity markets for the reasons I gave you.
Right.
Banks are loaning to their buddies the Fed's loaning to banks at nothing rates. Okay. The mergers and acquisitions and the stock buybacks are over half the market growth. So no, it hasn't worked.
Okay.
I have a weird, long kind of question, and it makes sense at the end here. So we're saying, in the United States, we need to start buying and producing our own stuff here. We need to stop buying from China. So now you're saying China's in trouble. If we put more of a tariff or tax on what they can't import to this country, do we put them in the same position that Russia's in right now without being able to sell their oil? Will we just bury them? Is that why we don't want to bury China? Because we shouldn't be buying all this stuff for nothing from China.
100%. Look, if people want to make this country great again, put back the rules and regulations that Slick Willie Clinton and Bush and the rest of them killed. By the way, when China joined the World Trade Organization? Nobody does. It was 2 weeks after 9/11 nobody was paying attention. I want to see a self-sustaining economy. We have 320 million people. You think we can make our own shirts and shoes and computers?
I'm just happy you said shirts because I thought you were saying something else.
So we should have a self-sustaining economy. By the way, that's what Russia's going to be doing now. They're saying, the hell with you guys, we're going to do our own. And so that's what we need to do. And by the way, on May 2nd, over here in Colonial Kingston, New York, at the most historic Four Corners, the only place where there's a pre-Revolutionary War stone building on each corner, we have permission to close down the streets. And we're launching Occupy Peace. The website's occupypeace.us. And it's based on the principles of the Founding Fathers, beginning with Washington, a real warrior, a real commander-in-chief, a guy that led the forces and fought, not these guys that play basketball, shoot pool, and drive pickup trucks and play golf. A real founding father, a real warrior, no foreign entanglements. Bring home the troops, seal the borders, and rebuild America. And then and the world was at war back then, if anybody forgot. So what we're doing with Occupy Peace is to rebuild America, make this a self-sustaining economy. So you guys want to attend, you could broadcast from here as well.
Where's this, up in the Bronx?
No, the Bronx. Colonial Kingston.
Oh,
no, I'm originally from the Bronx.
Oh, that's what they said.
Yeah, we're 2 hours north of New York City.
Okay.
And it's